Hi guys, this is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and happy Mother's Day. So today I thought for Mother's Day I would do a fantastic dessert. This is something that someone had requested, and sorry it's taken me so long to get it out, but I thought this would be totally appropriate for Mother's Day weekend. I feel like Mother's Day should carry out the entire weekend. So I'm probably going to try to get this out on Saturday. So if y'all want to make it for Mother's Day on Sunday, then you know you have that option, because this takes very minimal ingredients and it's wonderful and it's simple. Even my children can make this cake. Okay, so I have a regular cake pan, which you've probably seen in tons of my videos. I think I use this cake pan for just about everything. It's a 9x13. You are going to need a yellow cake mix. This one here just, let's see, came from Kroger and it was $1. You're going to need some Dole. Well, I like to use the Dole, but you certainly do not have to use the Dole brand. But I used the pineapple slices, and make sure that you keep the juice because you will need it in the recipe. You're going to need 1 cup of packed brown sugar, and you're going to need a little bit more than 1/4 of a stick of butter. And you're going to, first of all, before I get ahead of myself, my oven is preheating at 350 degrees. And what I need to do is I need to melt half of this stick of butter. And what I do is I put this in the middle of my pan. I stick it on the back burner where the heat comes up from the stove. And by the time that the oven gets preheated, the butter is melted, and then I will show you what is next to make this wonderful dessert. Okay, our oven is preheated, and it's time for the next step. So I've got my 9x13 here, and all of my butter is melted. Now the reason why I add a little bit more than 1/4 a cup is because I want to bring some of that butter up on the edges of the sides of the pan, because I don't want my cake to stick. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw in my cup of brown sugar, just right in there. I got some stuff measured out already. And I just want to work this here in with the butter. Make sure that it's spread really good all over the bottom of the pan. And that looks good. It's all good and buttered and it smells really good. Make sure that the video camera is showing everything that needs to be shown. Push this back a little bit. Okay, so I got my pan, and in it I have my butter and my brown sugar, and I got my pineapple chunks, or pineapple slices here, and now I'm just going to lay my pineapple slices in the bottom of this pan. Nice and neat beside each other. Now my grandmother, when she made this cake, she would put maraschino cherries in the middle of each pineapple, and it made it really, really, really good. I don't have any cherries today. I should have got some, but that's okay. You want to make sure these are kind of spread out and it looks about the way you know, would put it in here to be even. Okay, I got my pineapple in there, as you can see. And then I'm just going to set that aside. And I want to bring my mixer up here, and I'm going to have to find my beater. I have no idea what I did with it. Sometimes my kids empty the dishwasher and they don't put everything exactly where I put it, but it's okay. Now, you want to make the cake mix according to the directions on the back of the box, all except for what it calls for water. You want to use the pineapple juice from the can for the same amount of water that is required on the back of the box. So on my box, I need to have 3 large eggs. I need 1/4 cup of oil. And instead of water, 1 cup of pineapple juice that comes from the can. And I'm going to go ahead and get that started mixing to kind of get those eggs broke up. That looks good. And now I'm going to add my cake mix to this. And I'll put all the ingredients in the bottom in the description box down below. And you just want to mix this cake mix until everything is well incorporated together, because you don't ever want to over mix a cake mix, because you want it to be light and airy and trying to find a spatula. Nice and airy and light. And if you over mix, you lose that. So I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl a little bit to get it all in there. Mix it a couple more seconds, just to make sure everything is well blended. Scrape my beater off. Okay. Don't want to waste any of that good stuff. Hand towel. All right. Now, I'm going to take this cake mix off here and push this back so you guys can see. All right. Now, all I'm going to do now is I am just going to, let me go back a little bit so you guys can see better. There we go. I've got my pineapple in there, brown sugar and butter. You can put a cherry in the middle of each pineapple if you desire. I don't have any today, but I definitely would do it. It makes a difference. I've got my cake mix all mixed up here, and I'm just going to pour my cake mix right over these pineapples. This cake is a good cake for Easter, for spring parties, for Sunday dinner. If you got to take something that is really pretty to church for a potluck, or you're in charge of a dessert, this is a great thing. Kids like it because it's sweet, and adults I think like it because it's very old-fashioned. I know my grandmother made it quite often, and my mother made it, and it's pretty. It's very pretty, and it looks like spring. All right, I'm going to pop this into the oven and get all that good batter in there for 42 to 45 minutes at 350 degrees. And when I come back, I'll show you the next step. Now, while the cake is in the oven, what I do is I take, if you don't have a cake board, which if you have a cake board, use a cake board, but I don't have a cake board, and in substitution, I use a cookie sheet that is larger than my 9 by 13 cake pan, and I line it with aluminum foil. So I have that ready for when my pineapple upside down cake comes out of the oven. I can actually turn it over onto this cookie sheet. I like the cookie sheet because I feel like it's a little more substantial, and whenever you turn the pineapple upside down cake onto a pan, all of that butter and brown sugar, it kind of oozes over the sides, and you know, it kind of can overrun a cake board. So I kind of like it better putting it in here because it has the raised sides on the pan, and I don't have to worry about any kind of mess. So now that that's ready, I'm just going to wait for my cake to come out, and when it is finished, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so since it's Mother's Day, I thought I would add this. I don't know if you guys can see this picture or not, but this is my mother. So Mom, if you're watching this, happy Mother's Day. This is a picture a while ago. She's actually holding Dylan in her arms when he was only about, I don't know, about a week old. But I got to thinking as I was making this cake. My mother used to tell me, don't jump around, because if you jump around, the cake will fall in while it's baking in the oven. I was wondering if there's any truth to that, or if I was just a really ornery little kid and she was trying to get me to behave. So you guys can let me know if there's any truth to that. So my cake is still baking, and as soon as it comes out, I will show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I just turned the pineapple upside down cake onto my pan, as you can see here. It came out perfect, it didn't stick at all. One thing that I do is once I turn it over, I let it set upside down on this pan for about 2 minutes to let the juices kind of run down, and then I take a little butter knife and put it underneath the edge because the pan is scalding hot, and then take my oven mitt and pull the pan off the top. If your pineapple sticks in the bottom of the pan, which is sometimes it happens, just put it back on the cake. Nobody's gonna know. It is a prettier cake with the cherries on it, but this is the basic pineapple upside down cake. Mine is done and finished. Let me see if I can't give you guys a close-up. Whoop. I can't see what I'm looking at here. There we go. Sorry guys, but that's what it looks like close up. And it's yummy, yummy, yummy. Anyhow, I hope you all have a very blessed Mother's Day. I hope you have a very blessed Mother's Day weekend, because I feel like mothers definitely deserve an entire weekend. And I hope you all have a great one. And I will be seeing you guys soon. Bye-bye.